The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight against the Sixers, VJ Edgecombe, the electric Philly guard, had 26 points. Joel Embiid looks mobile and healthy, went for 26 and 10. And Tyrese Maxey, electric tonight with 36 points. As the Sixers open up a 19-point lead in the second half and win 131-19. Knicks have now lost 3 straight for only the second time this year and the first time since late October. Great to have you with us. Bill Pidto along with Wally Szczerbiak. Mike Brown has often talked about the fact that there are going to be valleys during a regular season and a little bit of a bump in the road here for the Knicks. But as we have talked about, we talked about it in the pregame and at the half, this Sixer team, when healthy, they are really good.
Well, we said that in the pregame. They loaded up for this game. They were on a mission to show that they're going to be a factor in the Eastern Conference battle. And then when the Knicks are struggling defensively and you get 2 guards like VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey coming into your building, they're licking their chops and they're saying, we're going to get whatever we want. The Knicks cannot control guys that are driving to the basket. Dribble penetration, getting into the paint has been a big problem. And the Knicks have looked a little bit sluggish since the NBA Cup. You mentioned 5-5. They just could not keep up with the speed of those two, especially at the guard position.
So Edgecombe and Maxey have this amazing speed and incredible range. Combined, they went 10 of 18 from downtown. You put it all together, Wally. Knicks were only down by 8 at the half. Sixers, though, went up by 19 in the third quarter. And the closest the Knicks got the rest of the way, they got within 7 with a couple of minutes to go, but they couldn't get any closer than that.
Yeah, you know, the fight and the effort is there. This is a really good basketball team. I mean, you look.
Paul George is serviceable.
Yeah, he's a future Hall of Famer. He gave you almost a triple-double. He can shoot, and he's playing a different role on this team. Still an elite defender, and you saw his defense at times. And then Tyrese Maxey, this guy is, you know, trying to put his name in the hat for MVP. I mean, with the numbers he puts up every single night, the minutes he plays, the matchups that he causes and the problems that he causes, and just the way he flies around on the floor. It looks like he's just gliding. His change of directions is impressive.
And the range, Wally, the range on his 3, right?
I know, he's a great shooter, too. And, you know, when he can break down defenses, and Coach Brown talks about paint touches all the time, he gets paint touches whenever he wants, and then he can set up his other guys. Karl Anthony Towns had a couple nice drives in the fourth quarter where he made Embiid move his feet. OG Anunoby did a good job shooting the ball in this one. Got back on track, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Deuce McBride, 20 points off the bench. I thought he was going to be an X factor with his ability to guard guys like Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, but this Philly team, they don't have any fear. They're not scared. I mean, Edgecombe has come in as a rookie and just looks like a veteran the way he's been playing. The Knicks just can't afford to give up this many points. And the offensive rebounds, the extra possessions. This Philadelphia team, they have a solid bench. They have big guys when Embiid's healthy. And they're a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and now beating the Knicks twice on their home floor this season. One
of our talking points here of late has been the opponent's points in the paint. 6th straight game, I believe, that the Knicks opponent has had at least 50 points in the paint. 54-32, and when you look at the rest of the numbers, that really stands out as the Knicks go down 130-119. Alan Hahn helped call the game with Mike Breen tonight. Alan, you're the one that has brought up this points in the paint allowed. What did you see tonight? Again, the Knicks give up over 50.
Yeah, and really the most of it came in that first quarter. 22 points in the paint in one quarter. In the first quarter, the Sixers only took 3 threes in that first quarter. You see what they ended up with, right? 36 of them, and they made 17. They were 1 for 3 in the first quarter, but all the damage was in the paint. So as the Knicks then had to make sure they tried to take the paint away, what opens up? The outside shot, and they started knocking those down. It was pick your poison as the Sixers just had just a different level of energy. We talked about it before the game, right, Wally? This game was personal for the Sixers. Another game for the Knicks, second game of back-to-back against the Sixer team, but they feel good with all their guys back now. I think they wanted to make a statement tonight, and I believe they did.
Yeah, this is a team where, you know, the Knicks are kind of hitting the slow part of their season. You know, they've banked a lot of wins. Obviously, Knicks have a nice record. They have a little bit of a lead on the Sixers in the standings. The Sixers have been nursing some injuries with Paul George kind of working him back in the lineup. Embiid is looking as healthy as he's been in the last 2-3 years. And then you have Edgecombe and Maxey, who have been carrying the load the whole entire season. They put it all together today, and they sent a message to the Knicks that they're going to have to get better if they want to, continue to hold on to being the favorites in the East.
All right, guys, Today's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Alan, Tyrese Maxey, what was it like to watch him? He had the electric quickness and the limitless range from downtown.
Yeah, he's a blur. I mean, he's just so fast. You're seeing it right here. This is great highlights that you're seeing because we're not even showing him flying off screens. This is, again, one-on-one. He's gotten bigger and stronger. And so he was able to go one-on-one, get some easy buckets, and then that's when the three ball and the bounce to his game started to happen. And plays like this where he just gets to a spot, I think his energy, Wally, to me, is unreal. For a guy that plays 40 minutes a night, never misses games, plays both ends of the floor, his conditioning is off the charts.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me how open the Philadelphia offensive floor looked with him out there. He had a lot of driving lanes where he could slice and dice the Knicks up. And the Knicks, conversely, on offense, everything looked kind of clogged. They didn't look like they had any driving lanes. They looked like they were forcing a lot of shots, a lot of one-on-ones, a lot of ISO and stuff. And the ball wasn't moving, and the bodies weren't moving as fast as the Philadelphia guys were moving around there on the floor. Now, it was the second half of a back-to-back. You know, that's one thing that you got to take into consideration. But the games are going to keep coming for the Knicks, and they got to figure out a way to flip this script because we know Mike Brown is harping on their defense. He's been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. You can bet Detroit is looking at that, and they're saying to themselves, we're going to go for 140 against the Knicks if the Knicks don't start to show some resistance on that end.
Knicks are at Detroit, guys, on Monday. VJ Edgecombe, you cover the college game. You're shocked by what you're seeing. He played at Baylor, third overall pick. He's been fantastic. He had another great game. He had 26 in this game and went 4 of 9 from downtown.
Yeah, he shot 34% from three last year, and he's become a very high-level NBA three-point shooter, moving even further back. You know, the athleticism's always been there. I just am really impressed with the way he's come in and helped this Philadelphia team. And when you're a rookie and making an impact on a winning team, that's even harder. It's not easy. Look at that play. He catches Mikal Bridges, got long arms with that high release, and then he just blows by the whole entire Knicks team. Two-handed dunk with his athleticism. Alan, you love that one. The dipsy-do with the fake pass and then the finish. This guy plays with a moxie, a swagger that is pretty impressive for a guy that's only 19, 20 years old and only played 1 year in college.
See, I did that. It's Maxey and then the Moxie. I love that. There's their nickname already for that backcourt. But Wally, I made it clear, we do claim him, right? He went to Long Island Lutheran for 2 years. He's one of us. He's a Long Islander. I don't care what they say.
That's right.
Alan, bright spot for the Knicks in terms of offense. Jalen Brunson, again, a 30-point game, went for 31. Towns, we saw, went for 23. What did you see from Jalen Brunson tonight?
Well, you knew he was going to flip it after last night. He really struggled, and he was frustrated with the performance of himself and the team against the Hawks. And he came out, and you saw early on he wanted to set that tone. If he was going to be in attack mode, he knew he was going to take some contact and physicality. You know what Nick Nurse tries to do with him? He throws all kinds of bodies at him. They throw bigs at him. They try to trap him. And in this game, he still finds a way to get 30 because, as Nick Nurse said, these guys are so good. What a beautiful and one that was. He just said, like, you can't stop players like this. You just try to slow them down and frustrate them. And that's what Jalen Brunson did. Karl-Anthony Towns had a much better second half. His first half, now again, he missed the game last night with an illness, and maybe it just took him a minute to get going. But I really thought the game turned in the early second quarter minutes with Brunson on the bench, Towns as the feature player, and he got real frustrated because the game wasn't being called. They were letting a lot go, and he was showing frustration in that. And the Knicks lost some points right there. The differential changed, and all of a sudden they were chasing the scoreboard the rest of the game. He got better in the second half, but I felt like that pocket right there was a tough one.
Yeah, you know, Karl-Anthony Towns, I thought he came out with a lot of energy, you know, to start the game. After being ill, missed the game yesterday, I just thought he came out with the right mentality and aggressiveness. At times, he even got a technical foul tonight, which is very unlike him. And he was playing with a lot of fire and a lot of emotion. You could tell this game seemed to mean a lot to the Knicks and to him especially. You know, having Philadelphia come into this building, having Embiid come into this building. Remember back early in their career, they had a nice little dust-up skirmish back when he was on the Timberwolves, him and Embiid. So there's a lot of history between those two guys. I thought Karl Anthony Towns, coming off the illness, showed a good fight in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter going at Embiid. And they're going to need, Knicks are going to need their full complement moving forward in a tough month of January coming.
All right, Alan. As always, we appreciate it. We'll see you Wednesday night. We don't have the game Monday. See you Wednesday when the Knicks play host to the Clippers.
You got it, boys.
Welcome back, everyone. As the Sixers tonight beat the Knicks 130-119. Back with Wally Szczerbiak. Last night, Knicks just couldn't shoot, right? 9 of 42 from downtown.
Yeah.
Three-point shooting, not the problem tonight. They went 16 of 40. OG Anunoby, who was 9 for his last 45 from 3, was much better from downtown. 3 for 5 on his way to 19 points. He also had 6 rebounds and 6 assists, so he played well tonight.
Yeah, you know, the Knicks offensively were okay at 119 points. The problem was the defensive end of the floor. They couldn't handle those quickness of those two guards. It was good to see guys, though, find their rhythm a little bit offensively. OG Anunoby got a couple dunks early on in the game, was aggressive to the basket, and, you know, that's a really good sign. So the Knicks aren't far off. You know, in order to win in this league, you got to play at a high level on both ends of the floor. And, you know, right now the Knicks are going through some tough times. They're struggling a little bit to find their overall game defensively, and other teams are licking their chops because there's a slight margin for error between beating a good team like Philadelphia and taking a loss on your home floor. And right now, the Knicks are not doing those little things to make other teams, I've said it before, uncomfortable offensively. You know, teams are just coming at them with total aggression, with total confidence, and the Knicks have to shut the water off at some point and say enough is enough, giving up 130 points every single night.
So the Knicks now, Wally, have 4 home losses, 2 against Philly.
Yep.
The first loss to Philly here was December 19th. Joel Embiid didn't play in that game.
Yep.
Coming back from the knee trouble, the chronic knee trouble, he looked very mobile tonight. He had an excellent game with 26 points.
I don't know if he looked very mobile.
Well, there are times he's coming down in the open court handling the ball.
Compared to the way he used to look.
Okay.
2
Maybe
years
he was
ago.
never really mobile.
No,
but he
2
looks
years
more
ago.
mobile than he has in recent history.
I mean,
that?
Karl Anthony Towns was going at him in the fourth quarter, making him move his feet defensively. So he is a little bit of a liability defensively, and the Knicks were not able to exploit that enough, put him in pick and roll, get him moving around, because if you let him plant himself and catch the ball where he wants to catch it, he's tough. I mean, what about the antics, though, from this guy? I mean, every time he makes a basket, it's a facial expression, it's an arms waving, it's a legs kicking, it's a drama king, you know, act every time he scores. Like this one here, what is he doing? Like, I mean, you got an N1. You're big and strong. We know that. And here, it was his first dunk of his season, maybe, and he's happy about that, but that's a sign that he's maybe not moving as well as you think he is.
Still scoring 26 points.
He's talented. He gets to the free throw line. He knows how to bait the officials. He's got a great mid-range game. He's a great shooter for a big guy like that. So he has an old man game now compared to when he used to have a very athletic, dominant game when he was an MVP candidate.
All right, we're still awaiting the post-game comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown. We'll have those coming up shortly. Knicks now with the loss, 23-12. Only their second 3-game losing streak of the entire season, and their first since late October. Welcome back, everyone. Sixers go up by 19 in the third quarter and end up beating the Knicks tonight 130-119. All right, up next for the Knicks, Pistons will host the Knicks Monday. That's a national TV game. You can listen on the radio on ESPN New York. Knicks back home to take on the Clippers, and then they go west to take on the Suns, the Blazers, Kings, and Warriors. So 4 straight out west for the Knicks after they play host to the Clippers on Wednesday. We continue from the Corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So up next for the Knicks, they're at Detroit Monday. A showdown in the Eastern Conference. It will be on national TV, but you can listen to the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Our next Knicks game here on MSG Wednesday, where the Knicks play host to the Clippers, 7 o'clock pregame. Game time, 7:30. Post-game comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown, as always, presented by Chase.
Obviously, you know, we didn't play our best basketball, but you got to give Philadelphia credit. they played a really good basketball game. I tell you, Maxey was early on. VJ was a handful for us, and then late. Maxey was a handful for us, and we tried to take the ball out of his hands. They did a great job of moving the basketball versus our blitz. And when we tried to get the ball out of his hands and somebody else made plays, they hit some big threes on the backside of it. And they got layups and or ducks out of it. And, that's what you have to do. If you try to take the ball out of somebody's hands, you're going to give up something. You're going to give up something else. And they made the right plays or made the right shots when we did take the ball out of his hands. So, again, give them credit. But first time all year we've lost three in a row. So we're in an area that we're not used to. We've hit a little bit of adversity. I've never been part of a team that that has not gone through adversity throughout the course of the year, whether we won it at the end of the season or we were in the finals, or we had a halfway decent season. Every team's going to hit it, and now for us, it's about how do we respond, how do we come out of it, and this is a great opportunity for us to see what we're made of while we're going through this stretch. Yeah.
The point of attack defense and then the perimeter.
Yeah.
What's supposed to be happening that hasn't been happening lately?
The biggest thing is right now, we want to be physical defensively. I mean, as you can see, guys are up in us. We try to run a DHO, and they're getting in our bodies and blowing it up, or in any dribble handoff, even pick and roll situations, they're up in us, and we're not able to come off a pick and roll and turn the corner and get downhill. So defensively, we want to do the same, but right now we're not as physical as we should be at the point of attack. We're not navigating the ball screen like we should be at the point of attack a lot of times. And then when we do, we're picking up a foul here or a foul there and sending guys to the free throw line. So our physicality as well as our shifts have to be better so that we can help protect that paint a little bit more.
With that physicality and maybe the offense being a little stagnant as well, how much
Yeah.
do you think you're missing Josh with those two departments?
I mean, at the end of the day, having Josh out there helps a ton. Having Landry out there with his pace helps a ton. Because right now our pace is not good. We're walking the ball up almost every time, and then everything's just on the front side. It's been a while, at least 2 games, these last 2 games, our staples, our pace in the full court and the front court. We want to space the floor correctly. We want to make quick decisions. We want to touch the paint, and we want the ball getting reversed. And we haven't seen a lot of any of that. It's a lot of front side actions that are happening, and if we don't have anything on the front side, it's almost like we're dead in the water. We don't know what's next. We can't get to the play after the play, and that's something that we have to figure out sooner than later.
Coach, how do you think your team has reacted to the officiating last night and tonight?
Officials are humans. Officials are human. They're going to make good calls. They're going to make bad calls. And, we can't rely on the officials to win us the ball game. We have to go win it ourselves. And, the reality of it is, even with us fouling a little bit late, they shot 23 free throws, and we shot 32. We had 18 fouls called against us, and they had 23 called against us. So we have to do a better job of just focusing on what our job is or what we can do to help the group get over the hump and win the ball game. Nobody has to do anything extraordinary, but we got to give a little bit more in a lot of areas to help us get over the top. But the officials are the officials. They've been fine, and now we just got to go figure out a way to win and not focus on them at all.
How do they overcome the opponent's physicality?
That's the problem right now. That pick and roll, teams are getting whatever they want off the pick and roll, and they're blowing up the Knicks' opportunities to get and turn the corner on those pick and rolls. He summed it right up.
Tyrese Maxey, another great game here at MSG with 36, and his Sixers beat the Knicks tonight by 11.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
So next up for the Knicks, a showdown at Eastern Conference leading Detroit. And the Knicks come into that game with a 3-game losing streak. That's a national TV game, so that means you can listen on the radio on ESPN New York. One home game coming up for the Knicks Wednesday night against the Clippers, who all of a sudden are playing excellent basketball. And then it's 4 straight out west for the Knicks before they return home. Back with more after this. We wrap up the Knicks post-game show by reminding you that our next Knicks game here on MSG is at home against the Clippers Wednesday night. Knicks Detroit Monday's a national TV game. So we'll see you Wednesday, pregame 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.